What is the point of having children if you don't enjoy them? We live in a world that is constantly telling us that kids are a pain, right? Oh, especially teenagers. They're awful. Parenting, Everybody's always talking about how they just need a break and it's so overwhelming. And I get it. Sometimes you're in the trenches of parenting and it is a lot. There's no denying that. But how about instead of carrying this negative attitude into our parenting, we decide to love parenting and love being with our children. I know we all love our children. We want the best for our children. Of course, they're kids. But what if we started having this attitude, this perspective going into it, that being with our kids is amazing. They're a blessing. I want to grow my relationship with each and every one of my children. Yes, even the teenager, even the young adult. I want to be there for all of it. And I want to have an awesome time each and every day with my kiddos. That's where we found ourselves. And that's what we wanted to do when our kids were young. And these are the changes we've made, the things we do, and how we genuinely have the best time each and every day with our kiddos. Now, the first one that stands out so bright to me here when talking about this, it's something that I feel like as a people, we've just gotten so far away from. Something happens in life that you just stop doing this at some point. I don't know. But that is to have fun with your kids. And this can be as the whole family all together. This can be things that you're doing one-on-one with your children. I know for us, we have 4 kids, so making sure that, yes, we have a lot of family time together. That is our focus, that is our priority, but we also take time to do stuff one-on-one with our kids. But do stuff together. Have fun with them. There's so many ways that we can do this. And I think that making this a priority in your home is going to have a huge impact. Even if this is something that you're struggling with, right? Your family isn't doing a lot together right now. You have a lot of sibling quarrels. You maybe don't have very strong parent-child relationships. Starting to just make it a priority to be together, to do stuff together, you're going to see a huge impact. And get involved, have fun with them, right? I think as a culture, we've shifted to this. Our kids have a lot of activities they go do. We have a lot of things that we're doing, right? We're working all the time, or we have our own hobbies, our own friends, our own whatever, and we're very segregated. That's not good for the family. Have fun with them. Get involved in stuff together. Go play games together, right? Whether it's board games, video games, whatever it might be. Get out there and have fun with them. Go hiking together. That's something our family loves to do, especially if you're going anywhere by some form of body of water, right? That is always a great win for kids. Get out and play together. Something our kids have really wanted to be doing more of that we actually really enjoy doing is getting out and doing motorsport stuff together. We love that. We watch races together. We're trying to go to more races together. It's something our family absolutely loves. And then we wanted something that we could be racing around our own property on. I know for me, we have a 6-year-old, so I wasn't quite ready to bring in a gas powered thing for her. I wanted something a little simpler, less pieces to work on, less gas and just oil and all the things involved that you need for that. And so we found these little electric motorbikes. And I was like, this is perfect. I actually wasn't expecting it to be as awesome as it is, but we got this thing. And for any of us who grew up on dirt bikes and stuff, it's like having a little 50, only it is something you plug in, you just recharge up and let the kids have at it. Things like this that we've invested in for our family that we're all getting out and having a great time with really is so wonderful. But let me show you what I mean quite literally. So as a kid, I grew up in the desert of Southern California. We loved nothing more than being out on dirt bikes, quads, out here in the East, everybody's got the side-by-sides and doing the stuff. And it is so much fun. We love go-karts. We love, all the things. There's something about getting out there racing around with one another that is just a absolute blast. And so trying to find something again that especially the younger kiddos could get on. It's easier maintenance for us parents because you don't have the gas and the oil and the motor, and all the things to be dealing with, less things to have to fix. Finding this little electric bike we were pretty excited about. And that's what I'm just going to show you, because we are out here having a blast with this thing. But like, everybody's having a blast. I was quite impressed. It came in the mail yesterday. So that's why I had to share it with you guys, because we've been loving it. Got it pulled out. It was super easy. All my husband had to do was like attach the handlebars. Like, everything was already put together, which was really nice. It came charged already. So parenting super score when something comes charged. So now getting this thing out here and romping around. I'll just show you again. I'll just show you. Yay! Look out! Don't run over your sister. Start off slow. Can you pick up your feet? She doesn't really have anywhere to put them. Pop a wheelie. Can you pop a wheelie? Make your grandpa proud. Pop a wheelie. I don't think that's what we're going for. All right. Close. Woo! All right, you want to give it a try? I'm just gonna roll it down it. Woo! You want to try doing that? You a little scared? Yeah. I love your outfit for biking. Sparkly princess shoes and a dress. Woo! So don't think it's quite made for two of them, but that's okay. They're having fun. She's showing her how to use it. I do love that they can get out, they can play. Her and her older sister were out here racing like crazy earlier. One got on the regular bike, one's on the little dirt bike, and they're racing around. But I love things like this, that they get us outside, right? We're all playing. My husband and I both got on it and we're roosting around. Not at the same time, but we took turns. But we were out here playing with the kids too. We're like, man, we got to get some more little bikes like this, or little go-karts or something, so we can all come out here and just race around together. It's so much fun, right? When we can find things that like we all can enjoy together, that we can get out and we can get doing things together like this. Super simple. Wasn't very expensive, right? You just charge it. It's not a bunch of upkeep, things like that. And they are loving it. It goes much faster on pavement. So we've been kind of starting them in the grass and then moving over there, but having something that we can do together, having fun with them, like getting outside, having a blast. Nobody's whining, nobody's fussing, nobody's, wanting screens or wanting anything else, because we have stuff that we're doing, and we're doing just a great fun stuff together. I think so often we focus on like getting the kids all the indoor stuff, which is great. They have some indoor stuff. I'd much rather have outdoor stuff that all of us can come and play with and have a great time. So again, thanks to Hiboy for sending this little dirt bike over. We are loving it, having a blast. If you guys are looking for something that you'd like to get your kids out there roosting around, they've got regular bikes and stuff too. We love the little dirt bike though. Getting out here, romping around, totally a blast. Now, yes, there's having fun with our kids, but then there's also some more of the practical things in the day in and day out, right? It's not all fun and games 24/7, although that is a great priority in our home, but it's things like we chose to homeschool. Maybe you're not in that position right now, or you don't feel that you are. You can still be closely involved. For us, it's when we got to that point where our oldest, he was in first grade, we were kind of going through all of the motions, doing all of the things, and I didn't want to just drop my kid off to the government. I didn't want to hand my kid over to a system, especially a system that prepared them more for prison life than it did the real world. Like I didn't want to be a part of that. And so looking at it, we kind of had that conversation of, why are we working the corporate jobs to make the right amount of money to have the house, but yet we're never in it because we're doing the rat race things. We have the kids that we ship off all week. Like we get a few hours with them each week. That's ridiculous. I don't want to do that. I want to be with my kids. I want to teach them to have a love of learning. I don't want to send them somewhere to teach them what to think. I want to teach them how to think. And so for us, homeschool, although we had no experience, no support system, no backing, no nothing, over a dozen years ago, homeschooling has been, I would say, one of the single most important decisions we made for our children. Now, the topic of homeschool does not have to be overwhelming. If you have questions, you're curious, literally, we've been on YouTube for the past 6 years talking about homeschooling. So if that is something that you have questions about, you want to know more about kind of our very relaxed, real life approach to just training up children who love learning and have practical application skills and things of that nature, you guys can check out our other YouTube channel, Heavenly Minded Homeschool, where we are backing up all of our homeschool content over there for you guys who are looking for that. We have an online co-op, we have Bible classes, we've got reading classes, writing classes, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff that we can share with you all. If that's something you're interested in, check out the links down in the description. Leave me a comment. We'll be happy to share that with you. But homeschool for us was huge in this role. We have helped so many families over the years get started with this. We believe in it so much. And again, I think my children are one of the greatest investments that we have. They are the next generation, Lord willing, here to take on whatever it is that the world is throwing at them. Let's equip them. Let's train them up. But even more than that, let's do it alongside of them. Let's trust the oldest education system of all civilization and be there with our kids, training them up by our side and really making sure that when the day comes that they stand before the Lord and they give an account for their lives, as each and every one of us will do, that they can stand there without hesitation. They can stand there before the Lord. They will not shrink back in shame, and they will hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." The third thing that I think is huge is our communication. Communication is key. And we go through, any of us who come from the corporate world, right? You sit in seminars, you go through training. We talk all the time about how important it is to have this great communication. In marriage, we know how important it is to communicate. We know what we face and the struggles we run into when we're not communicating. We need to be doing this with our children. And I think sometimes it's easy when they're little. It's easy to go through this. You really have so much grace and space. And I know for us, we learned as our kids got older, that's where these skills really kicked in. Talk about the teen years. Talk about moving into adulthood, because yes, our oldest turns 20 this year. When we got to those older areas, especially, I saw how important that area of communication was. And I think it's so important that we as parents are desiring to want to communicate with our kids. When they talk to us, put the phone down, listen, right? Leave open-ended time in your homes to just talk, whether it's sitting around the dining room table for dinner, devices away, right? Everybody have a conversation, whether it's taking a walk around the neighborhood in the evening or something and just talking with one another. Be available to listen to them. Even the stuff, oh wow, we had our oldest, he was obsessed with Minecraft as a kid. He would tell me so many things. I had no idea what he was talking about. I would try to follow, but I was so Minecraft illiterate that I was like, you've lost me. I don't know what's going on. But I would try to learn. I would listen. I would get involved, right? I would start to grow my knowledge in that area so that way I could be there. I could be a listening ear and a helpful hand when they ran into their issues or their struggles or whatever it was. Something that we do with our kids once they, especially with the girls, I've been doing this and it's helped so much, but as they've gotten older, we have conversation journals. And so sometimes there's those difficult things that we don't really know how to say that to someone. We're a little nervous. We don't know where to start. Having a journal that we started, and I wrote the first note in it that said, hey, this is our conversation journal. Everything we talk about here stays here. This is between you and I. It is a safe space to come and to share those things that maybe you don't know how to say or how to work through. this is what this is for. And if at any point there's something here that you want to come and talk to me about in person, you just let me know, and I am here to listen. We write in these journals every single evening before bed. Both my girls, the older girls, go in there and they write me whatever it is that they want to talk about. And then they leave it in my office, and then I go before I go to bed and I respond to everybody. So that way when they wake up in the morning, they can see my response. And having that journal where we can go back and forth, we can talk about those heavier things, it really does help us, especially when we need to repair some areas of our relationships with our kids, that they can feel a little more confident to, hey, okay, I'm ready. Can we sit down and talk about this now? Maybe you go and you take that child out and grab, lunch or a cup of coffee or something, and sit down. Maybe you go walk through the park or something where you can have a conversation a little bit deeper about something that maybe they've been struggling with or that's been weighing really heavily on them. But making sure that we as the adults are leading the charge when it comes to growing that communication between us and each and every one of our children is so important. We want to be the first person they come to when I'm not sure about this. I have a question. I'm wondering. I don't know, right? Like the world throws so much at them. We want to be that safe space, that sounding board, that first step in discerning through whatever it is that they're facing. And building strong communication with our children is going to be something that serves us well into adulthood. And so it's never too late to get started building that up. And last, but certainly not least, I think this might be a little more of a mama to mama help and encouragement here, is sometimes the best things that we need to do isn't in changing someone else, but ourselves, right? We can only control what we do. We can't control anyone else. And so it needs to start here. And sometimes letting go of expectations is huge in helping us truly enjoy our children. I think some of us more than others, I will put myself out here, we have these expectations of how things are going to go, right? I take my job as a homemaker and a wife and a mom and, someone in ministry very seriously. I like my home to be kept a certain way. I like things to be done a certain way. Like I like things very boom, 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 boom. Like I have this vision. I have this expectation of how I want things to go. And oftentimes, right? I love the reels. Have you seen those where they, it's like how to keep a perfectly clean house with a large family. And then it's like a woman doing different things around the house. And then it goes, and then take your husband and all your children and kick them out, right? Like if you want to keep it perfect, you want to keep these expectations on point, like you think they should be, well, then you're going to have to remove everybody else out of the house, right? And that's ridiculous. The point of that being that maybe we need to change our expectations, right? The moment I go and mop my floors, a child or an animal or something is going to come running through with muddy feet and mess it all up, right? It never fails. That's what always happens. So maybe I need to change my expectations. I need to understand that you're right. Kids make messes. I make messes. My husband makes messes, right? Like it happens. It's okay. I would much rather focus on the relational, the deeper, the heart of the matter than just the surface level, superficial stuff. Now, I want the house to be clean and tidy. I want to keep up on it. I want to do all those things. And I think my kids need to learn how to do those things. Yes, all of that is important. But when I have the expectation that everything needs to be here, and anything outside of that just wrecks my day, and then I'm cranky, I'm frustrated, I'm going behind them and redoing everything they just did, right? Because sure, the 6-year-old loves to help, but she's not doing it, right? So then I go behind her and I redo it all. That's really setting us up for failure. It's showing my children that I don't value the work they're doing because I'm going behind them and redoing it. So why do they want to keep doing it if I'm just going to essentially tell them that's wrong? If they don't feel like they can be comfortable in their own home because I'm like, you goofed up this, you didn't do this, this isn't right. What kind of a home life are we setting up for our children? And I think sometimes we have these expectations that they're just going to be these perfect little, everything's going to go exactly how we want it, and anything outside of our expectations is ruined. That's really doing a lot of damage, I think. And so when we look at our own expectations, for motherhood, for life, for whatever. Sure, it's great to have things to work on and areas that need improvement. Absolutely. I've been doing a lot of like reset in my life lately because in this season of life, we need it. But make sure that your expectations are truly lifting up the home and encouraging them, and not just you being like monster mom who's charging through and bopping everybody on the head for not getting it right. So friends, I hope this can be at least a bit of encouragement to you here today, regardless of where you're at right now in these situations, to be able to look at it and go, I want to enjoy my kids. I want to enjoy each and every day that God gives us, because children are a blessing. They are God's gift to us. I don't want to live in that societal norm where my children are a pain and I can't wait to get rid of them and, send them off to school. Mommy needs some wine. That whole like cultural attitude of like, let me do me, you're holding me back. Like, go find some activity to do on your own. I've got to do my own thing. Let's change that. Let's really show the world how amazing it is to be a strong, well-built, full of love family, and the impact that that can make on the world. And so I'm going to get back, I'm almost done with my coffee. I'm going to get back to having fun with my kiddos and enjoying the stuff that we love so much, like being on the dirt bike that we are having such a blast with. They're already out there riding right now. I can see them out there moving around. I'm going to get back to doing that. If that's something that can be a blessing to you and your family, of course, you guys know there's a link down below that you guys can go and get. Sun is shining. It is gorgeous out. I'm going to go enjoy my family, and let me leave you with a little something else that I think might bless you in your home today. Otherwise, we'll see you right back here in the next one. Bye, friends.